Can you guys believe it is already time to talk about Black Friday sales? It is. And Dossier is having a fantastic sale starting November 1st through the 29th, then a Cyber Monday sale, and then a holiday sale through December 15th. So now is the time. All right, you guys, I am excited to jump in this video because you guys know me. You know, I love a sale or how to get things more affordably. It's in my intro. The name is Budget Beauty. And even if they're expensive fragrances, I like to find how to get them cheaper. And then if they're inherently inexpensive and on sale, like this Dossier sale, even better. So let me tell you guys a little bit about Dossier first and the sales. And then I will get into two of their fragrances that I have been enjoying. And there will actually be two other videos in the near future talking about a few more of their fragrances and also the sale. So let's go ahead and get into the brand. Dossier has expanded so much over the last couple of years. Their inventory, their catalog of fragrances is so much larger than it used to be, for one. Also, I noticed that they have expanded even into boutique stores like in New York, where you can go in person and sniff some fragrances. I have spotted their fragrances at Target and CVS. They also ship to a lot of different countries, which is awesome. And they not only do inspired by fragrances, but they also have their own original blends. And they've also moved into some home scents like candles and diffusers, which are priced extremely well. I was just having a discussion the other day with a friend about candle pricing, and Dossier has very affordable candles, which is awesome, especially if you were to get it on sale, like with this sale. Also, just kind of snooping around on the site, they have a membership, and their membership is really good. I think it is $39.95 a month. I think the first month is like something like $5 or something. You can cancel it anytime, pause it at any time. Also, you get a credit once a month for $40 to use towards a fragrance. You get free samples, you get discounts on their fragrances. So if that is of interest to you, I think that that sounds like a really good deal. They also have the option of two different sizes of fragrances, and therefore a range of pricing that is very affordable. They have 50 mils, 100 mils, and I think it is $29 to $59, depending on the fragrance. And that is original price. But right now, as I said, they are having this amazing sale, and it's kind of the time, I would say, to stock up for yourself, possibly buy gifts for friends. I am the first to admit that whenever I am shopping for friends, especially during kind of like the holiday time, Black Friday, Christmas time, I tend to buy for myself as well, because that's when the best deals are. Guilty as charged. And one last thing I want to talk about is if sustainability is important to you, if non-toxic, vegan is important to you, well, you're in luck with Dossier, because they use recyclable materials. They are cruelty-free, vegan, non-toxic, all the things that is important to a large community of people. So now that I've kind of talked about Dossier in general and told you guys about this amazing sale, let me go ahead and tell you about these two new fragrances that they sent over. All right, this first one here is Call Me Vanilla. This one is from their Icons collection. This is an original blend. This one here is the 50 mil, so you guys kind of see how much juice you get. It does come in a box just like so, and it has a little card in here as well, kind of giving the synopsis about the fragrance, the vibe, the feel, but there's also the notes on here. So I'm gonna go ahead and read the notes to you. The top notes: almond, peach, pink pepper, lime, rum. Middle notes: jasmine, orange flower, iris, and tuberose. Then the base notes: vanilla, benzoin, tonka bean, musks, and white wood. So I'm wearing it on my left arm right now. This is, I think, the 4th time that I have worn this fragrance. And I'm getting to know this fragrance a lot better in the different wears that I've had with it. The note that I pick up on the most just right off the bat is the lime, which I love lime in a fragrance. I think it's a very underused citrus. And then it very quickly, though, turns to my nose, a little bit strange for a moment. And I don't necessarily mean strange in a bad way. In the kind of unique scent that I'm picking up doesn't really stick around very long. I think it's probably the rum and maybe that pink pepper. It's, in my opinion, kind of an odd combination of notes just right off the bat. I don't get a ton of peach, but after about 10 minutes, I love the mid of this fragrance and then how it dries down so much. So in the mid, you have those florals. You have tuberose, jasmine, orange blossom, and iris. I think the jasmine and the orange blossom stand out the most of those. I don't get a ton of tuberose. Nothing bubblegummy comes up. Nothing even real tropical floral comes up, I don't think. And then I don't get much iris at all. So I don't get a lot of powderiness from it. It's just a really beautiful kind of clean jasmine and orange blossom that isn't too sweet. But what I think that it does is it kind of tones and tames down that pepper, rum, lime notes at the top and kind of smooths things out. We're going into, in my opinion, a little bit more of a feminine territory, although I think a lot of their fragrances, they do like to say are unisex, because I think they really want to emphasize that inclusivity of their brand. Then in the base is when that vanilla starts to develop on the skin. And it is kind of weird because it is called Call Me Vanilla. And for the first, I'd say 30 minutes, I don't really get any vanilla. And I'm like, where's the vanilla in this? It's in the name of the fragrance, but I can't smell it. 30 minutes into it, it does come into play. I think that the base of this is very elegant and classy. It kind of removes it from being that tropical niche boozy limey fragrance in the beginning too. It makes it more of a year-round sort of a vanilla fragrance. It's also not a very sweet vanilla. It's not a baker's vanilla. I wouldn't call this overly gourmand even. It has a niche quality to it, and I think that's what challenges my nose a little bit at the front of this. So I don't necessarily think that this is a beginner friendly fragrance, because it kind of gives me even Simone Andreoli kind of a vibe to it, which is a beautiful niche fragrance house. And I have several inspired by fragrances of that fragrance house, but it kind of is niche smelling, and I like that, but it does kind of challenge the nose at first. After it dries down, like I said, it gets a little bit more, I'd say mainstream wearable than how it opens up. And I think it's a really gorgeous fragrance. And maybe the Call Me Vanilla is kind of self-aware. Like, what would you call this in the beginning? Like, it doesn't, I can't really put my finger on it because it's boozy, it's citrusy, limey, but then it goes into this really beautiful floral territory. But then, oh, there's the vanilla. Call Me Vanilla. Maybe they're self-aware like that, and it's sort of like a kitschy little playful name. But overall, I do really like this. I just think for me, it's the 10 minutes and on that I love it most. All right, next up we have Autumn Rendezvous. I do have it sprayed on my right arm. I'm gonna go ahead and spray it again. I actually really love this fragrance. This is fall in a bottle. It could also be called fall in a bottle. The notes: rosemary, fresh air accord, cassis, green notes, pine S, lavender, violet, mugget, incense, fir tree, cedarwood, sandalwood, patchouli, and moss. When I say this smells like fall, my goodness, does it. Now, immediately whenever I sprayed this, the first fragrance that came to mind was Autumn Vibes by Replica, Maison Margiela Replica. I had just worn that fragrance a few days ago, and it reminded me how much I really enjoy that fragrance. This is similar, but definitely not exact. It's not as spicy as Autumn Vibes. Autumn Vibes has a lot, by the way, this is an original blend. This is not an inspired by, but it just reminded me of that, like kind of in that same family. But Autumn Vibes opens up with a lot of spicy notes, and then it goes into like the fir. These have some common notes. They both have fir, the cedar wood, the moss. So like the base of Autumn Vibes is similar to this fragrance, but this has some lovely light aromatics at the top with that lavender, and that fresh air accord really comes through on this. It smells crisp and warm at the same time, which that duality I find so fascinating. So in one sense, this is perfect for being out and about, walking around with the beautiful foliage. You've got the variegated leaves on the ground crunching beneath your boots. You see the breath in front of you. You are wearing this, and it can perfectly kind of encapsulate your environment around you. At the same time, if you were to come inside into your warm, cozy house, throw on your sweats, grab a blanket, sit in front of the fire, then it kind of turns into a perfect, warm, cozy fragrance around you. And I think that is so special and so neat. This one also, I would say, is a little bit more directly unisex, maybe slightly masculine than the last one. If I had to say, Call Me Vanilla might lean ever so slightly feminine. This one leans ever so slightly masculine, but I still think it's pretty unisex. It could also be the most beautiful candle without smelling waxy. So if you've ever smelled fragrances that you like, but you think that would smell better as a candle, or it could even have like almost a waxy element to it, and you think it just smells like a candle. I don't want to smell like a candle, even though it smells good. This could make a gorgeous fall candle, but it's still a very wearable fragrance on the skin. I love this one so much. It also kind of smells, it is autumn, but it smells Christmassy too. It smells like you have a fresh pine tree in your house, and like you just opened up the front door to drag in the pine tree, to put it up, to put all the ornaments on it, and that cold, crisp wind outside kind of followed you in and is swirling around the house as you're putting up the tree. That's also the vibe that this gives. It puts me in the spirit. This is putting me in the spirit right now for autumn, for winter, for Christmas. I think it's fantastic. And if you don't like Autumn Vibes because maybe it was a tad too spicy for you, but you liked everything else about it, I think that you would love this. If you don't like a kind of woody, piney, aromatic fragrance, it may not be for you, but it's definitely for me. I love it so much. And that is it for reviewing those two new fragrances. Like I said, I will have 2 more videos where in each video I will review 2 more of the Dossier fragrances. And again, want to remind you guys that now is the time. Now is the time when you can get up to 50% off now through basically December 15th with 3 different sales: their Black Friday sale, their Cyber Monday, and then their holiday sale. That is it, you guys, for now. I will be back soon with another video of Dossier. I thank you so much for watching, and as always, have fun shopping, budget shopping, and smelling fabulous. Bye.